I'm Robert Timmons, and you're watching Weekly Words.
Stop me, oh, somebody stop me, stop me, stop me, please, somebody stop me, stop me, stop me, oh, somebody stop me, and Lord, if I'm doing it.
Thank you for checking out this week's episode of Weekly Words. I'm so happy to see you back here. Let's go ahead and get started with this week's topic. So a couple weeks ago, I heard an interview with Pastor T.D. Jakes, and he had said a quote that has really stuck with me since I've heard it. And he said that God creates trees, not tables. God creates trees, not chairs, not houses, right? And so what he was getting at was the idea that God provides the resource for us to utilize in conjunction with the vision he's given us, the dreams, the desire, the creation, in order to make something, right? To turn a tree into a table, right? God doesn't do that. He gives us the desire, the vision, the dream to turn his resources into another creation. God does not make trees. God makes trees, not tables. We have to tap into the resources that he provides for us. When I heard this, it made me think about the scripture, James 2:17, where it says, faith by itself, if not accompanied by action, is dead. So some of you might have heard this in the form of faith without works is dead, right? And so it's getting into the idea saying, what good is you having faith if you're not going to put any action behind it, right? So if you have faith in God to provide you with the job, the works is you putting together your resume. The works is you applying to jobs, going to an interview. The works is you networking so God can give you that opportunity, right? If your faith is that God is going to provide you with understanding of your coursework, the works is you going to class and doing your homework and going to office hours. Faith without work is dead. So anytime we have faith in God, we have to back that up with action so that he can actually come in and give us, we have to utilize the resource that he's given us, right? We have to be ready to take the blessing, which, side note, receiving God's blessing is something we're going to talk about in a couple of weeks, so put a pin in that for more details later. But faith without works is dead. So if you think about it in terms of this analogy that I mentioned earlier about the tree and the table, God provides the tree. He creates the tree, right? Faith. That's God. But he does not make the table. That's the work, right? That's us mixing the tree with the vision and the dream and the talent, right? So it's not enough for us to just see the tree. We have to turn the tree into something, and that comes from the vision and the purpose and the talent and the skill set that God has given each one of us because it's all unique. Right? We have to turn the resource, the tree, into the creation, the table. So God doesn't make the computer or the house or the table or the chair. He doesn't make the jewelry. He doesn't make the clothes, right? He creates the resource, and he gives us the dream. He gives us the talent. He gives us the skill set, and we have to utilize both of those together in order to make the creation, right? God does not create tables. He creates trees. Faith without works is dead. So anytime that we get mad because we don't have this, we don't have that, and all this kind of stuff, we have to take a second to think about the resources that God has provided us, the tree, and think about how we can turn that resource into something, right? If you have faith in God to bless your finances, the works is you making a budget and trying to see where you can save money and how you can manage your funds, right? God provided you with the tree of wealth, but it's up to you to know how to utilize that so that you have money to contribute to the community, contribute to your family, contribute into savings. Faith without work is dead. God makes trees, not tables. So it's all about knowing what resources God has provided to you, to us, and knowing how he has gifted us with the talents and the abilities and the dreams and the desires to tap into those resources and turn that tree into a table, into a chair, into a house, into a book, into a movie, into a television series, right? He wants us to take his resources and turn it into magnificent works of art, no matter what that might be for you. God makes trees, not tables. So, question time. Just like every other week, I'm going to ask you guys a couple of questions. And again, I encourage you to think through them by yourself and with your accountability partner to see in which ways you can grow and how you've been growing throughout the course of this year. So let's get started. Question 1. What trees has God planted around you? And how can you turn the trees into tables? So what resources has God provided you with? And how can you take those resources and make them into something that utilizes your talent? Question 2. Is your faith backed up by works? Is your faith backed up by works? Thank you for checking out this week's episode of Weekly Words. I pray that you thoroughly enjoyed it and got something positive from it. If you have any suggestions for things for me to talk about in the future, feel free to email me at weeklywordsrt@gmail.com. Again, that's weeklywordsrt@gmail.com. All right, I hope you have a great week, and I'll see you back here next time.
Stop me, oh, somebody stop me, stop me, stop me, please, somebody stop me, stop me, stop me, oh, somebody stop me, and Lord, if I'm doing it wrong, then please stop me.